was the inside again.
Just to get my copy of your book.
Yeah, I'm sorry I can't help you.
Well, that's all right. I have a copy lined up, I'm sure.
This is, see, we had DL numbers. That was before the fighting started.
Before, yeah.
And they changed to KL when the fighting started.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
That's a good photo of it. Well, to the best of your memory, would you just show me what happened, how that all happened?
Yeah, well.
Just the collision part of it.
Well, what happened was we spotted this HE seaplane down in the water. And my number, my subsection leader, Johnny Allen, I said, well, you go down after that and I'll look after 109s. We're above it, you see. And I had a shot at one. Now, whether I hit him or not, I don't know, because at that moment I saw one coming around behind me, so I pulled around and up like that, and that's the sort of position I was in, side, that's right, to the coast. And I was coming uphill like that, pulling around, and I saw a 109 over there coming in the opposite direction. And we pulled around and we each saw each other, obviously, and levelled out rather like that. And I suppose we must have been 800 yards apart, I think. And I thought, well, I can get a quick shot at him, you know, but coming head on. And he must have thought the same thing, because I could see his guns. But having said that and fired one burst, there was just a blur. And I'm pretty certain I went underneath him. And of course, it tossed my aircraft. It was a grinding sort of a crash, but it was all a blur, really.
Yeah, I'll bet.
But in 1 minute he was there, and the next minute we were, I could see him in the cockpit.
You could.
And the next minute it was a crash, you see. And I think I instinctively pushed the stick forward, or he instinctively pulled it back.
Well, I was glad that you did the opposite thing. Rather than going.
Well, one of us did it, and that would have been enough.
Sure.
Not two of us.
Sure.
But one of us did it.
Yeah.
I think, because we were actually head on. And I'm sure I went underneath, because I can remember sort of, there was just a blur and closing your eyes and feeling everything going like that. When I came out the other side, the air screw was all bent over.
All bent back. But was your engine stopped at that time?
Well, immediately it seized.
So it did seize?
Immediately afterwards it seized.
Oh, it did. So,
and then it started to smoke and fire.
I see. So as soon as he collided and passed you, then your air screw stopped?
Yes.
Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's how I'll show them.
Yes, it stopped. It was, I think one blade was completely, it's difficult to but certainly, and I admit, fortunately, the coast was just below me and it was quite low. I think it was about 1,500 feet.
Oh, really?
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because they were just above the one another. And I turned in and I headed inland. Well, of course, I couldn't see anywhere, and and the aircraft would only go down in one attitude, and that was like that, and I had everything throttled back. I don't know what speed, I may have said it in the book, I can't remember. And I just held on till I hit the ground. I couldn't get out, just couldn't open the hood.
The hood wouldn't open.
And I hit the ground, and I bounced, and as I bounced, I saw all these posts sticking up all around me, and I went through masses of them, you know, chewed them to bits in the aircraft. And then I came to a grinding halt.
That's exciting.
That's it.
Really exciting. So
that's what happened. Yeah. We saw each other at the same time, and it so happened we were converging turns. We both levelled out at the same time, and we came, and he must have thought, more or less like, I'll have one shot, you know. So that'll be the chap that crashed, because I couldn't see how he could have got away.
No, he did not get away according to the record.
Because if I went underneath him, I must have sliced all his stuff.
Oh, I'm sure you chopped up all his
Probably chopped his tail off.
His tail, yeah, could have. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Wonder he didn't chop mine off.
Yeah.
But I suppose I was thrown down. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I often wondered afterwards if, in fact, he'd crashed. But I only claimed him as a probable.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
That's interesting. But he did go down.
Yeah.
You didn't see him after he passed by you.
No,
you never looked back. You never saw him again.
Immediately, smoke came into the cockpit.
I see.
And I couldn't see anything from almost immediately afterwards.
I see.
All I could see, the coastline looking down there, and I turned and headed west and just sat back, holding the stick back, because the thing wouldn't, till
You couldn't control it.
No.
Well, it just went back. So We have the time of the day here, and you say that the altitude was about 1,500 feet?
About 1,500 feet,
Yeah.
I think.
Is
I think it was, because it was pretty low.
Yeah. And you were heading, at the time of the collision, you were heading back to land now, or were you heading out to sea at that time?
No, I was over the sea.
You were actually over
in
the
the
sea.
middle of this fight with the 109.
You were actually over the channel.
Yeah.
In the middle of the channel. And
Not in the middle, just off Deal.
Just off Deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's 1,500
Isn't there a
feet off
photograph in here of that?
You've had so many interesting experiences. I mean, it just goes on and on.
Yeah.
You do some.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you booked 9 lives as athletes.
There it is, you see.
Yeah.
Now there's the aircraft
Yeah,
that the
that's
Johnny shot,
Yeah.
and you
Oh,
can
yeah,
see the
right
pilot.
now, yeah.
And it so happened that it was rescued by the boat, the yacht, which sent out this thing to get him off. Was owned by a friend of mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Private yacht, huh? Or
Private yacht.
boat, yeah.
Yeah, and he'd used it at Dunkirk, helped out at Dunkirk.
Oh, I see. Well, that was really interesting.
So I might. What date was it? June, July, wasn't it?
9th July.
Oh yes. Let's see now. Must be here somewhere.
Were there cliffs there off the coast of
No,
Deal,
it's
or
flat.
Is it flat, just like a big
It's
beach
just
type
a
thing?
big bite in the coast. It's
Oh, I
flat
see.
there.
I wonder if there's much beach here. Well, we'll find some photos of that area. I'd like to. Was it populated? Is it populated a deal? Do you know?
Oh yes. Well,
Is it
there's
like farms or
there's
something?
Margate, Ramsgate,
Oh, yeah.
Margate and Ramsgate and Deal and Dover, all that around there.
Like there would be farmhouses below, or?
Oh yes, immediately
yeah.
inland. It's
Yeah.
farming country.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But what I'm getting at is, I wonder at the position I'm showing you if we will see any ground. Maybe we'll just see ocean down below. If you've
map
got the
here.
map there, yeah.
Minster. Where's Minster on that? Somewhere inland from Deal it was. Ilmotson, Eastry. It must have been in here somewhere. Eastry. Sandwich. There's sandwiches up here. There's Sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
Ash, that's it.
Ash? That's where it went down, huh?
That's where it went, down
so
in there.
The action was right off here?
Right off there, and,
Yeah.
and that seaplane was ditched just there.
I'll be darned, isn't that
And I could
interesting?
see the coast, you see, and I turned in there and I just kept going straight ahead, and all these
Yeah.
fields were
Yeah.
farm fields, and they had invasion posts dotted all over them. So that's where it is. He's pinpointing.
So the collision now, you were circling.
Collision was here.
You were circling this way, and
well,
the
now I
collision
can't
here?
remember. I think
Yeah.
I was coming up this way, and he was coming the other way. Yeah.
Okay, so the collision happened out here, and then you
Yeah.
landed. Well, that's great. That's a good reference. Sand right off the coast of Sandwich.
You see, there's the wartime airfield.
Yeah. Gee, that's great.
That's where that one of my Spitfires remains. It's in a museum there.
At Hawkins, yeah. Unfortunately, that's closed.